who are about to assume the mantle of leadership of this reputable institution, the Liberian National Bar Association. It is a profound honor to stand before you today on this remarkable occasion marking the induction of the newly elected officers of the Liberian National Bar Association, LNBA. This event underscores the enduring strength and the integrity of Liberia's legal community, the of our nation's democracy and of justice in our society. Today, as we witness the transition of leadership within this noble institution, I beg your indulgence to allow me to take this opportunity to reflect on the critical role that I plays in our collective journey as a nation. As the President of the Republic, I envision a society where the rule of law is championed and upheld without fear or favor. A society where justice is blind to race, ethnicity, religion, gender, or social status, where all individuals are treated equally before the law. The vision is not just an aspiration, but more importantly, a commitment that my administration will pursue vigorously. This flows from my conviction that the rule of law is the foundation of any stable, civilized society. It is the glue that binds our democracy, ensures peace, and create an environment where citizens can thrive. Without it, justice falters and the dreams of our people fizzle and fade away. This is why your role as legal practitioners is so crucial and why I so heavily count on the bar to help uphold and promote the cornerstone of our national fabric. I assure you today that my administration will actively cooperate with the bar in fostering our hard-earned democracy and promoting the rule of law. This cooperation is not only a necessity, but a moral obligation for the government, legal community, and our citizenry. We are open to constructive criticism and guidance as we steer the affairs of the state. Governance is not a sole act. It is a collective endeavor that requires input from all sectors of society. It is in this scheme of things, there is no disputing the fact that the bar is uniquely positioned to provide insight, advice, and checks where necessary. We recognize the LNBA as a professional legal institution that wields a huge potential for playing a key role in the growth and development of Liberia. As such, your contribution to nation building cannot be overstated. You must remain a beacon of professionalism, ethic, and integrity, standing firm on the side of justice and law. However, as we strengthen this partnership, I must also admonish the bar to remain above partisan politics. Never make the unhelpful and even self-destructive judgment that this institution is a political party and should therefore seek to act as one. Instead, it must hold steadfast to its professional principles, rising above partisan allegations and self-serving interests. distinguished legal practitioners, I should be quick to warn that the loyalty to individuals or groups at the expense of the law will go swiftly and directly to subverting the dignity and integrity of this enviable institution. The bar must be candid, upright, fearless, practical, and above all, reasonable as it engages the national government on matters of governance, being extra-minded, never to throw into question its own avowed commitment to the Liberian people. Your independence and foresight constitute our strength. I urge you with all passion, like Ghana, to proceed for compromise this independence inexorably to weaken the fabric of our democracy. The Liberian people count on the bar to work alongside the three branches of government in ensuring that the law remains supreme. It is the rule of law that establishes a civilized society, makes it peaceful, and fosters productivity. Members of the bar, as custodians of justice, bear a critical role in their shoulders to play in this regard. As you mark on this new chapter of leadership, let me take a serene moment to encourage you to focus on ensuring that justice is accessible to all Liberians regardless of economic or social standing. 2, strengthening legal education to equip the next generation of lawyers with the skills and ethics needed to sustain Liberia's legal and democratic systems. 3, promoting transparency, accountability, and good governance across all sectors of society. This task ahead is daunting, but I remain filled with the confidence that you, the newly elected officers of the Liberian Bar Association, will rise to the challenge with courage and conviction. Let me close hence with a reaffirmation of my administration's commitment to working with you in your institution and our shared objective of ensuring that the principles of justice, equality, and fairness are upheld in our country. Together, we must build a Liberia in which the rule of law is not just a concept, but a lived reality for all citizens. Let me reiterate that I count on the bar to manifest itself as a steadfast ally in this mission, to stand firm on the side of justice, and to always employ the best practices as desired in the best interest of the Liberian people. Consider your role as indispensable and be aware that your legacy will be measured by the contributions you make to the growth, stability, and prosperity of our nation. Congratulations to the incoming officers of the bar. May your tenure be marked by impactful service, dedication, and unwavering commitment to the ideas of justice as we think Liberia, love Liberia, and in concept be like you. Thank you. God bless you. The National Bar Association and the Republic of Liberia.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next on our agenda is the presentation of certificates to the elected officers and executive council members. That is going to be done by Councillor J. Akumova, Chairman, Liberia National Bar Association Elections Committee. You are welcome to the podium, Councillor.
All protocol observed. On behalf of the LNBA Election Committee 2024, I'm pleased to present certificates to the officers elect to give them the way for their induction so as to begin very crucial responsibility that they have to perform for the next 3 years. So we shall now begin by first calling on Councillor Boakai and Farmer, National President, Liberian National Bar Association. This will be followed by Councillor F. Lawson, National Vice President, National Bar Association. Next we have Councillor Elijah T.J. Fokia, National Secretary General, Federal National Bar Association. Is followed by Atode Yemi Ife Subayo Williams, National Treasurer. After the executive, we shall now have the members of the executive council to be certificated, and we'll begin by calling on the first county, County 1, Councillor Sir Y. Cooper, President of the Ministerial County Bar Association. All present. That's the thing I received on behalf of the Cooper and the Vice President of the Ministerial County Bar Association. We shall now have the President of the Grand Bar Association, in person of Councilor Morris Momo David Kemp.
So I'll be aiding the chairman. We'll now call the president of the Sino County Bar, Attorney K. Chate Sir. Followed by the president of the Maryland County Bar Association. Councilor Injury Johnson Service. And she is followed by the president of the Grand Cape Mount County Bar Association, Councilor Eugene L. Masekwe. He is followed by the president of the Grand Cape County Bar Association, Councilor Kanyo Bawa. Is Councilor Bawa? No, okay, he's proxy. Somebody's going to proxy for him. The vice president. Will be followed by the president of the Nimba County Bar Association, Councilor Kim Amelia Harris. President of the Bond County Bar Association, Councilor Johnston G. McGill. And he's followed by the president of the Lufa County Bar Association, Attorney Saji Fupa Kamara Sr. Robert LNBA, the president of the Public County Bar Association. And he is followed by the president of the Riverside County Bar Association, Councilor James Pipe Sipe. I'm honored to call the president of the Grand Crew Bar Station, Boino Na Mabandi. But I'm a candidate to my bar. I'm a president. And see how the group people let loose. She goes that way behind. So I can see her coming. Followed by the president of the River Chica Association, Councilor Dennis S. Sopan. And the last but not the least, the president of the Bapulu County Bar Association, Councilor Tommy N. Kuba. Shall we put our hands together for our executive committee members and executive council members? Thank you very much, Councilor Takumaba, Chairman of the Elections Commission. Your Excellency, Mr. President, Your Honors, Associate Justices, platform guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasing honor at this time to invite for remarks, followed by the induction of the officers of the LNBA, for honor CIA Jepayu, Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia.
Thank you, and you may be seated, please. Mr. President, Joseph Newman Boakai Sr., my distinguished colleagues of the Supreme Court bench, Mr. Justice Yami Kwekwe Sr., and Madam Justice Sienna D. Clinton Johnson. And I would like to make a special mention here of Mr. Justice Yusuf D. Abad in his absence, because he had an injury just before coming here. That is why he's not here. We wish him a speedy recovery. All former Chief Justices and Associate Justices present, the Honorable Senator, welcome. The President, Executive Council, and members of the Liberian National Bar Association, Mr. Attorney General and Dean of the Supreme Court Bar, the President and Vice President-elect, and other elected officers of the Liberian National Bar Association, the President's officers and members of the local county bar associations, the President, officers, and members of the Association of Female Lawyers of Liberia, officials of government here present, the diplomatic and consular corps present, representatives of international organizations, students of the Louis Arthur Bryan School of Law, the Fourth Estate, the clergy, ladies and gentlemen. Today's occasion marks a change in the leadership of the Liberian National Bar Association, an action that is or should be familiar to everyone present here. Approximately 1 year ago, our nation underwent similar changes in 2 of the 3 branches of government following the general and presidential elections. Not very long ago, we in the judiciary branch of government also experienced a transition in administrative leadership from the caucus bench to the youth bench. At the opening ceremony of the Supreme Court for the October term, AD 2022, which also happened to have been my first sitting as Chief Justice, suffice it to say the 3rd female Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, I emphasized the expectations that are attendant to change in leadership. And I quote, "I am fully aware that with the recent change in the administration of the Supreme Court from the caucus bench to the youth bench, there are diverse expectations from all sectors of our society, including the international community and even the judiciary. This means that all are interested in knowing the plans of the 3rd female Chief Justice. I'm positive that even as I'm speaking at this very moment, some lawyers are hoping to be appointed as relieving judges. Current judges are watching to see if the bench will increase their salaries and benefits. Employees of the judiciary are also hoping for a raise in their salaries or to be reassigned to lucrative administrative posts. All party litigants are hoping that their cases will be decided in their favor, as nobody wants to lose a case even if their claim is unmeritorious, but what I can still do now is that the change we envision must be based on the law. Most of you are familiar with my saying that law is not reasoning, the law is the law, period. Because I always say and explain that it depends on what area that you are reasoning. And I gave the example that if you were reasoning in a gathering at the Hatay shop, your reasoning will be different. If you are reasoning as a family member, your reasoning will be different. But what is unchanging is the law. So the law is the law. To the incoming leadership of the bar, I pose to you the following rhetorical questions, which I hope will resonate with you as you take on the leadership of the bar for the next 3 years now that you have been elected to the position of leadership within the Liberian National Bar Association. 1, how much are you going to show or give back to the legal community and your country? Two, what will be the symbol or legacy of your leadership? Your leadership will be nothing unless you actualize it by some positive conduct and activities. But in recent times, I have observed that there are several emerging legal issues in our jurisdiction, and they include, but not limited to, tenure of public officials appearing in their respective employment contexts, digitization of the court system, revision of some of our laws to reflect current realities. Example, certain provisions of our civil and criminal procedural laws which engender prolonged litigation or are just plainly archaic. In the same vein, what new dimensions are members of the bar bringing to the practice? I ask this question because it seems that the practice of law in this jurisdiction is, quote, stuck in time, unquote. Even though the current dispensation globally sees lawyers venturing into new fields of the law, example, intellectual property law, environmental law, especially given the increasing wave of natural disasters due to global warming and excessive pollution of our environment, energy law, cyber security law, and the list goes on. I therefore implore you, the new corps of officers of the LNBA, to ensure that the change that has brought you to leadership will translate to LNBA that is progressive in terms of the attainment of the highest degree of education, especially training on contemporary legal issues, intellectual soundness, and the promotion of ethical legal practices while being receptive to legal innovation and continuing legal education. And I stress on this latter part, receptive to continuing legal education. And from where I presently sit, this is important. And most of you counselors know what I'm talking about. Continuing legal education is needed. Having said that, let me go to the business at hand. That is administering the oath of office to the newly elected members of the bar, officials of the bar. So then There are the MC. We have the list. We have the, please call them up.
We now invite the President-elect, Councilor Palmer M. Farmer, Vice President-elect, Councilor F. Joel Lawson, Councilor Elisha T.J. Fokea, National Secretary General-elect, Attorney Yemi Ife Shabayo Williams, National Treasurer-elect. The National Executive Committee members were already inducted at the convention in Bang, in Limba County, so the four. Yeah.
Kindly raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your names. Do solemnly swear and affirm to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Liberia and the Liberian National Bar Association, that I will faithfully and conscientiously discharge my duties and responsibilities of the office of, to the best of my ability. So help me God. Okay. I just you can put down your right hand. So I'll say on behalf of the entire Supreme Court bench and the entire judiciary branch of the Republic of Liberia, congratulations, Mr. President, Madam Vice President, and Mr. Secretary General, and Madam Treasurer of the Liberian National Bar. Tenure be marked by success, progress, and a deep impact on the legal profession and, more importantly, the nation at large. Congratulations.
At this time, we ask the Vice President, the National Secretary General, and the Treasurer to please have their seats, and then we'll have the changing of the guards. The President, the former President, will now turn over the gavel of authority to the President. Mr. President, I will officially turn over this gavel to you to be used wisely in moving this organization forward. Thank you. And then we have Mr. Former President will please have a seat on this side there as well. And then the President will. That's the President's seat. The Former President. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. President. So now we will call on the President for his inaugural address.
Please be seated. His Excellency Joseph Newman Boakai Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, Her Honor, the Chief Justice, Senate, GEO, and Associate Justices of the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, distinguished members of the legislature, we past presidents and executives of the Liberian National Bar Association, esteemed members of this great legal profession, our judges, magistrates, development partners, members of the diplomatic corps, our own ambassador, and other ambassadors here, representatives of civil society organizations, members of the folk estate, family, friends, fellow Liberians, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you today, deeply honored and humbled by the confidence you distinguished members of this noble profession have placed in me, the Liberian National Bar Association. This is not a position of privilege, but of great responsibility, one that I graciously accept with the utmost commitment to advancing the cause of justice, upholding rule of law, and strengthening legal profession in Liberia. The mandate of the Liberian National Bar Association is clear: to be a guardian of the Constitution, a watchdog for justice, and a vanguard of legal excellence. As we on this journey, we must remain unwavering in our pursuit of these fundamental principles. I spend my people, the past leadership of the LNBA, for their service and sacrifices. Their dedication and the foundation upon their professional and responsive bar. To my colleagues in the legal profession, thank you for responsibility. To my family, especially my lovely and caring wife, Councilor Bato Kora Holmes Bama, our great children who are here in the back, and friends, your unwavering support has been my pillar of strength. And to the Liberian people, for whom justice must not only be done, but seem to be done. I reaffirm my commitment to serving with integrity and diligence. My teammates, know, succeed, and know the new leadership of the Liberian National Bar Association is a team of committed professionals, each bringing expertise, vision, and a passion for justice. To my fellow executives members, I call upon you to stand firm in unity. We must work collaboratively, setting our personal ambitions for the greater good of the bar in our nation. We now constitute the executive leadership of the Liberian National Bar Association. I need not to remind us that our bodies of the bar and indeed the society at large will economic challenges. The justice sector continues to grapple with issues of independence, access to justice, and constitutional violations. Our role as legal professionals has never been more critical. We must work location, ending constitutional rule, ensuring that the rule of law prevails, and advocating for reforms that will protect and empower all Liberians. In these challenging times, the LNBA must be voice of reason, fairness, and honor our work. The LNBA shall hold government at all levels accountable, including and especially the branches of government, which constitute the indispensable elements of our democracy. We will work towards ensuring that government policies and programs meet the yearning and aspirations of our people as they relate to the provision of good governance, transparency in financial expenditure, reducing drastically the cost of governance, and ensuring that the welfare of our people is given topmost priority. We will strive to ensure that government responds appropriately to the challenges of security of life and property consistent with the Constitution, respect for the fundamental rights and freedoms, the provision of gainful employment in all the basic amenities of life, especially in food, shelter, quantitative and affordable education, healthcare, and other infrastructure, as well as access to justice. Our agenda for a vibrant and professional leadership. A strong, professional, and independent bar is indispensable to national development. Under our leadership, the LNBA will strengthen professional ethics and accountability within the legal profession, advocate for an impartial and independent judiciary, expand legal education and mentorship program for young lawyers, engage in public interest litigation to defend human rights and civil liberties, promote judicial transparency and efficiency. A vibrant bar is not just an association, it is a movement for justice, and we must ensure that LNBA is at the forefront of this movement. Constitutional violations and legal reforms in Liberia. Recent events have exposed threats to our constitutional democracy. Violations of fundamental rights, questionable executive actions, and disregard for judicial decisions, judicial inactions, and avoidance, as well as legislative overreach, have undermined the fabric of our democracy. As an association of legal professionals, we must speak truth to power, hold institutions accountable, and push for legal reform that strengthens governance, human rights, and social justice. The LNBA will continue to engage with policymakers to ensure that the Constitution is upheld and that legal reform reflects the aspirations of the Liberian people. The Liberian National Bar Association, LNBA, plays a crucial role in upholding the rule of law and ensuring constitutional compliance by all branches of government. To address constitutional violations, distinguished members of the bar, the LNBA will take the following steps. 1. Legal advocacy and public interest litigation. The LNBA will file lawsuits at the Supreme Court of Liberia to challenge unconstitutional actions by any branch of government. To achieve this, the LNBA will work with the Supreme Court to improve the quality of opinions in matters brought before it to satisfy the best interests of the law and public policy. This is urgent and paramount, as the Supreme Court's greatest power bestowed upon it by the 1986 Constitution is the power of judicial review to bring definition, clarity, and finality in all matters without influence and interference from anyone. The public, and this is critical, the public must never be left in doubt whenever our Honorable Supreme Court reviews and brings finality to any subject matter, because the court represents the only branch of government that is mandated by the Constitution to ensure serenity and stability in our democratic system through its judicial review and interpretation of the laws of Liberia. This can be achieved through critical legal analysis of all opinions and preferring recommendation in well-written legal articles which, in my mind, will be appreciated by the Honorable Supreme Court. The LNBA will also seek to file petitions for race of prohibition by damage or sanctuary to prevent government overreach. We shall endeavor to establish a constitutional watchdog committee to monitor government actions and report violations, publish reports on unconstitutional practices, and recommend corrective measures or corrective measures. We shall conduct civic education programs to inform citizens about their constitutional rights, organize legal forums, workshops, and media engagement to discuss government accountability. Liberia's democracy is incomplete and calls for action. Your Excellency, Mr. President, Ambassador Joseph Newman Boakai, the Chief Justice, Associate Justices, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Article 56B of the 1986 Constitution provides that there shall be election of paramount, prime, and counties by the registered voters in their respective localities to serve for a term of 6 years. They may be re-elected and removed only by the President of Liberia for a cause. That's why this constitutional mandate, Mr. President, Liberia has historically appointed chiefs rather than electing them. This has been widely criticized as undermining local democracy and the pattern of governance in the local area. Members of the bar, our action as a nation state must be in conformity with the Constitution. While electing chief is essential for democracy, constitutional compliance, the failure to hold election for chiefs violates Article 56B, making Liberian democracy to be incomplete. And I must say here that since 1985, Your Excellency, even before you became Vice President, before you became President, Liberia has been brutally violating the Constitution of this country insofar as the election of chief is concerned. And we've had past government on doing it, and we hope that before you can leave power, you will show that there's elections conducted for chiefs because you have a significant role to play in local governance. Possible solutions. The National Elections Commission should be empowered to organize regular chief elections in line with the Constitution. Civil society and local communities should advocate for the enforcement of Article 56B. The government should allocate resources for local elections as part of Liberia's local governance efforts. Mr. President, the Constitution does not support the appointment of chiefs in Liberia by you or the Minister of Internal Affairs, which has been the practice over the years. The bar is ready to assist your government to ensure that chief justice elections are conducted so that we can fulfill the constitutional obligation. Collaboration with international organizations. We shall work with organizations like the United Nations, ECOWAS, and the African Union to hold government accountable. Seek regional international legal interventions in extreme cases of constitutional violation. More on collaboration. The LNBA openly thanks the UNDP for its continuous support to the bar. We are grateful for this monumental support in the amount of $270,000 United States dollars to support the 2020 UNDP LNBA electoral project and the current UNDP LNBA legal aid project to reduce pretrial detention in Montserrat County. few thank you the US system, but more is needed to achieve access to justice in Liberia. Supreme Court decisions and implications for our democracy. The Supreme Court remains the ultimate interpreter of our laws. However, judicial decisions must not only be respected, but also critically analyzed to ensure that they serve the best interest of justice and democracy. We will advocate for judicial independence and transparency in decision-making of the Supreme Court. Work with stakeholders to review Supreme Court rulings with far-reaching implications for democracy. Engage in constructive dialogue with the judiciary to strengthen public confidence in the courts. Justice sector reform must be a priority. Delays in judicial processes, corruption, and lack of access to justice remains major concerns. The LNBA will push for reforms that enhance efficiency, integrity, and accessibility within the judiciary. Continuing legal education. Legal education does not end with law school. Distinguished members of the bar, a competent and well-informed bar is essential for the administration of justice. Our leadership will expand complete legal education programs to ensure that lawyers remain updated on emerging legal trends. Partner with local and international institutions to provide specialized training. Promote research and policy discussion that contribute to legal development in Liberia. A knowledgeable bar is a powerful bar, and we must invest in lifelong learning for our legal practitioners. LNBA support for the world and economic plans for Liberia. The question of accountability for past atrocities remains unresolved. The LNBA is the custodian of justice and rule of law, and cannot be silent on this issue. The establishment of a world economic plan scope is not about vengeance, members of the bar. It's not about vengeance. It is about justice, healing, and ending the culture of impunity. The bar will continue to support national and international efforts to establish the code, advocate for legislative and executive actions to implement recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, TRC, educate the public on the importance of justice and reconciliation. Members of the bar, true peace cannot exist without justice. Liberia must reckon with its past to secure a more just and peaceful future. The LNBA will remain at the forefront of this fight for accountability. To this end, we are gratified and we support the President Joseph Newman Boakai and his government to demonstrate a political will to this process and call on the government for more support to this process. LNBA's call for an improved autonomous status of the LNBA and collaboration with Louis Attributes to law. The Liberian National Bar Association has a fundamental role in shaping the legal profession in Liberia. As we navigate the challenges of judicial reform, legal education, and professional ethics, the call for independence of the LNBA has become an urgent necessity. Alongside this, a stronger collaboration with Louis Attributes School of Law at the University of Liberia is essential to ensure that legal education remains robust, dynamic, and aligned with national and global standards. The case for operational independence. Currently, members of the bar, the LNBA operates under the statutory guidelines that subject this to regulatory, disciplinary, and administrative functions to external influences. To effectively fulfill this mandate, we propose a more autonomous status that brings the LNBA greater control over professional regulation, judicial oversight and advocacy. The LNBA should have the authority to set and enforce ethical standards, improve licensing requirements, and disciplinary action for legal practitioners without any undue influence. As a body committed to justice, the LNBA must have the institutional independence to challenge unconstitutional actions, advocate for judicial reform, and engage in public interlitigation without fear of political influence. The LNBA headquarters project. The National Bar Association has embarked on a historic initiative to construct ACE headquarters, an essential project aimed at strengthening the legal profession in Liberia, dedicated space for legal education, advocacy, and justice-related initiative. We call upon government institutions, and Mr. President, we let the President go on your office as well, legal professionals, corporate partners, development organizations, and well-meaning individuals to support this noble cause. Your contribution, financial, material, or technical, will help build a facility that fosters the rule of law, access to justice, and professional excellence. Let me say, follow Your Excellency, when Madam President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was President of Liberia, and we also saw a program to construct our headquarters, government of Madam President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf pledged $100,000 for a project. We have since endeavored to collect that money from the Ellen Sirleaf government and then the Weir government. We have not been able to receive that money, but I know your presence here today will now begin a new chapter between the bar and the government. Call to the bar. The call to the bar in Liberia is a formal process by which a law graduate becomes qualified to practice law as an attorney. It involves meeting educational, ethical, and professional requirements set by the Liberian National Bar Association and the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia. And it has requirements. Legal education is one of the basic requirements that one must meet before you are allowed to practice law in this jurisdiction. You must say the bar examination administered by the Supreme Court. And then there must be a moral character assessment, and then the oath of office. All of these processes distinguish members of the bar. The LNBA has a limited role to play while the Supreme Court enjoys unlimited authority. The regulation and policy of law should not and cannot only be attributed to the Honorable Supreme Court, but the Liberian National Bar Association. We are calling for more involvement in this process because we have only one bar, and that bar is the Liberian National Bar Association, which assumes giving the Supreme Court. All of the above can be achieved through a collaboration with the national legislature, and we are happy that the Primo with a friend of mine is here to review and amend the 1907 Act of the legislature establishing the Liberian National Bar Association. This is a matter of urgency for our administration. Strengthening collaboration with Louis Atterbury School of Law. Don't worry, I'll take my seat. The Louis Atterbury School of Law remains Liberia's premier institution for legal education, producing generation of lawyers who shape the country's legal landscape. However, challenges such as limited resources, outdated curriculum, and weak practical training mechanisms hinder the full potential of legal education in Liberia. The LNBA commits to forging a stronger partnership with the law school through curriculum reform, joint continuing legal education programs, support for faculty and students, law journal, and legal research activities. The operationally autonomous status of the LNBA and the Louis Atterbury School of Law will strengthen the legal profession, while a closer collaboration with Louis Atterbury School of Law will enhance legal education and research. Together, these efforts will reinforce professional integrity, judicial independence, and access to justice in Liberia. We call upon stakeholders, the government of Liberia, the judiciary, the academia, and the international community to support this vision for a more independent, effective, and professional legal system in our country. Conclusion. Fellow members of the bar, fellow police, today marks not just a transition in leadership, but a renewed commitment to the ideals that define our profession. The task ahead is great, but so is our resolve. We must be fearless in defending justice, relentless in our pursuit of excellence, and unwavering in our duty to Liberia. Let us move forward united, courageous, and determined to build a bar that is respected, impactful, and truly representative of the highest ideals of justice and professionalism. I thank you all, And may God bless the Liberian National Bar Association and the Republic of Liberia. Thank you.
For the vote of thanks, we now call up to the podium Councillor Kuku Y. Doba, Chairperson, Liberian National Bar Association, Inaugural Steering Committee.
Standing on existing protocol. On behalf of the Inaugural Committee, I stand before you with deep gratitude and appreciation as we conclude this momentous occasion, the official induction and inauguration of the newly elected officials of our Inaugural Association. First and foremost, we extend our profound thanks to the Almighty God for granting us the grace to witness this day. His guidance has been our strength throughout this process. Our guest speaker, the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Boakai, we are immensely thankful to you for your insightful and inspiring words. Your message has not only enriched our understanding, but has also set a guiding tone for the administration as it embarks on its leadership journey. To our distinguished justice, whom I'm well pleased, and the Associate Justices of the Supreme Court of Liberia and members of the judiciary, we are grateful to your presence and unwavering support to the legal profession. Your dedication is upholding the rule of law, continue to inspire and shape the legal landscape of our nation. To the outgoing leadership of the Liberian National Bar Association, we salute you for your services, your commitment, and the many strides made under your stewardship. Your dedication have laid the foundation upon which the new administration will build. To our newly inducted officials, we extend our heartfelt congratulations. The confidence reposed in you by us is a testament in your competence, integrity, and dedication to the legal profession. We wish you success as you take on this noble responsibility. To our esteemed members, our sponsors, and all those who continue to contributed in various ways to make this event a success, your support, time, and resources have been invaluable. The success of this occasion is a reflection of the collective commitment to the growth of the Liberian National Bar Association. To my colleagues on the Inaugural Committee, I say a special thank you for your tireless effort, hard work, and commitment to excellence have ensured that this program was well organized and successful. It has been an honor working with you. Finally, to all our guests and well-wishers who have taken the time to celebrate this occasion with us, we appreciate your presence and continued support. As we close this chapter and begin a new one under the leadership of our newly inducted officials, let us remain committed to the rule of law, integrity, and professionalism that defines our noble profession. Thank you all, and may God bless the Liberian National Bar Association.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Just before we invite the Reverend Attorney Paul M. Kontu for our benediction, we just beg your indulgence. After here, there are various areas prepared for refreshments. To ask that you be patient, that the organizers will usher you to where you ought to be. And they will usher also our platform guests. We will call the Reverend. And whilst the Reverend is coming, I respectfully ask that
all hail, Liberia, all hail, Liberia, this glorified of liberty shall be.
I can't say please. I can say please on the other one. You hear me? You know my heart?
Please remain standing for the benediction. To God be the glory in Jesus' name. At this time, I would like to recognize all the bishops, reverends, archbishops, pastors, imams, wherever you are in this auditorium. God bless all of us. Jesus, we thank you. All life come for you. All strength. Lord, we thank you for our president of this republic. We thank you for the president and the executive of the Liberian National Park Association. Lord, you are God that can strengthen. We pray and strengthen them to their destinies. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Spirit of to submit and surrender each and every one of them unto you, O God. That Lord, you will carry them